What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the All Pro Nation podcast. I'm your host, Chris Smith, joined as always by my buddy Tanner Weber. Tanner, how you doing, man?
I'm excellent. What's going on, Chris?
Man, it is a freaking beautiful day here in North Louisiana. I'm ready to get this podcast started. I've kind of been waiting for this all week. So I'm kind of hyped up, man.
Let's do it.
All right, so guys, we said last week that we were going to kind of piggyback off what you did in the interactive mock draft, and we're going to combine our heads together and do a mock draft of our own. So what we're going to do is I've come up with picks 1 through 32. Tanner have come up with picks 1 through 32, and we're just going to kind of compare each other. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to try to run through it really quick because, look, we promised you guys shorter podcasts. Last week we failed. The first week we failed. So we're going to see if we can't do it, but no promises. Am I right?
That's right.
All right, so with the first pick in the draft is the Arizona Cardinals. Tanner, who you picking?
Unquestionably for me, Nick Bosa, best player in the draft. I would love to see a duo of him and Chandler Jones side by side each week on Sunday.
Yeah. I don't think there's a question here. I'm with you. Nick Bosa out of Ohio State is going to be the number one pick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so number 2, San Francisco 49ers.
49ers here. I have to go, if I'm the Niners, I just feel like they have to go best player available. They've been cleaning some areas up on their defense, and Quinnen Williams, the defensive tackle out of Alabama, is the best player on the board here, and I don't think it's close. I would definitely go with him.
Okay, well, I went a little bit differently. I think they need some help as far as on the outside. So I went with Josh Allen, outside linebacker from Kentucky.
Okay. I just didn't like the scheme fit, so that's why I didn't go that way. Because he's more of like a 3-4 edge, and they run a 4-3 defense. So
yeah, but I mean, they really need somebody to help.
To get after the
pass rusher.
Oh yeah.
So
definitely.
That's kind of why I went with him. All right, with the third pick in the draft is the New York Jets.
Now I'm going to go Josh Allen. I like that scheme fit. They have lacked pass rushing for a very long time. The Jets have, so I like this fit, and I think he'll be a good player in New York for a long time.
So I'm going with. So one thing I noticed about the Jets is they were really poor against the run last year. So I really think they need help on that defensive line. So I'm going Quinnen Williams out of Alabama.
Yeah, there's definitely speculation that Leonard Williams might not even be there next year. I think it's kind of far-fetched, but if he's not, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean, come on, man, defensive lineman out of Alabama. I mean, that just has success written all over it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, touche.
All right, so with the fourth pick is the Oakland Raiders.
All right, I'm going a little different here. I've been picking Ed Oliver in the past. I'm going to go with a corner here. I'm going to go Greedy Williams, corner out of LSU, best corner in the draft. And their defense needs tons of help, and I like that pick.
Wow, I thought I was reaching and gonna surprise you when I said I was also going with Greedy Williams right here.
Yeah.
So
I think some people think Byron Murphy's a better player, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, no, I think they really need. I mean, I think they need help everywhere. I really looked at Rashawn Gary here. I think they need real help with their defensive line.
Yep.
But I think in a passing league, a corner might be better suited. So,
yeah,
that's why I went with Greedy. All right, with the fifth pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
So, I'm going tackle here. I've seen rumors, or I've read rumors online that they are going to re-sign Donovan Smith. I think he's one of the worst tackles in the league, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. But I definitely think that they should go Jonah Williams here, the tackle out of Alabama. He's the best offensive lineman in this class, and I think he makes the most sense at number 5. You got to protect their quarterback, and it's something they did not do last year.
Whoever their quarterback's going to be.
Yeah, exactly. I think Jameis is the only one on the roster right now. Fitzpatrick's a free agent, and their third string. I forgot his name. Ryan something. Whatever. He's a free agent too, though. I believe. Ryan Finley. Is it Ryan Finley?
No, it's he was in New Orleans for a year. I can't remember his name. I know who you're talking about there.
I'm drawing a blank.
With Tampa Bay.
Ryan Griffin.
Ryan Griffin, there it is.
Ryan Finley's in the draft. I don't know where I got that from.
Yeah, I went with Jonah Williams as well here. I agree.
Look at that.
Yeah, I agree. Offensive line is poorly needed. I mean, they're just terrible offensive line, and so I think this is a good fit for him as well.
Yeah, Chris and I did not plan this ahead of time, so this is...
We did not. We haven't even talked since last week's podcast, so...
Correct.
All right, number 6, the New York Giants. Who you got?
I remember how we were talking about in our interactive mock draft, how you thought Brian Burns was an extremely, reach at 30. I'm actually going to put him at number 6 here to the Giants.
Oh, wow.
It's a good scheme fit. Either this or Ja'Kai Polite, but I'm kind of leaning towards Brian Burns here.
Yes.
They would go Jonah Williams, I believe, because they need offensive line help if he was available, but he's already off the board, so I'm going to go with Brian Burns.
Yeah, I think I think that if we were going to see a quarterback come off, I think this could be a place. But I think that they're going to be married to the Barkley train and just going to go mediocre quarterback. So I'm going with Farrell here, defensive end out of Clemson.
Farrell? Okay.
So I think that with if they can get back to winning on defense. I think you're going to see a strong defense. I mean, look, that Giants defense, that's got playmakers all over it. It's a good defense.
Yep.
Better than what they've shown for sure. They have one of the most dynamic running backs we've ever seen. I think they are going to replace Eli Manning. I just find it so hard to believe that he's going to be on the field as a starter.
No, I think he's going to be back.
As the starter?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
This level commitment from this team is just I've never seen it before. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's almost like the same level commitment that the Bengals had to Marvin Lewis.
Yeah. I don't know what the Giants are thinking. I feel like they should go QB here. I just don't believe that they will.
Yeah, so defensive end, that's my pick.
So, unless they want to suck one more year and draft a really good one next year, because next year's class is going to be bomb.
Oh, right. Number 7, Jacksonville Jaguars. I hope we didn't pick the same person here.
No, I'm going with so a lot of people think – I am going to go quarterback here. A lot of people think that Dwayne Haskins is the best QB in the class. Not me. I'm going with Kyler Murray, quarterback out of Oklahoma. He's a playmaker, and I would love to see him and Leonard Fournette in the same offense.
Well, wish and you do not receive. I also went with Kyler Murray. I thought you were going Dwayne Haskins.
You got to be kidding me.
I thought you were going Dwayne Haskins as well.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, I went Kyler Murray here, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Man. I've been taking a lot of heat for it on Twitter.
I think he's clearly the best quarterback. Clearly.
I'm just not getting the vibe from Haskins for some reason.
But, hey, look, I was also big on Josh Allen coming out last year, too. And
hey. I was, not really.
And then, and who was my other draft crush last year?
Marcus Davenport.
No.
No,
Mike
I don't
Hughes.
remember. Oh yeah, Mike Hughes.
Yeah, that's where I met with Kyler Murray.
Uh-huh.
All right, number 8, Detroit Lions.
Going with the homegrown boy. I guess not homegrown. He's not from Michigan, but staying in-state, Rashawn Gary. They need D-line help tremendously, and he's the best player on the board.
All right. I went Rashawn Gary as well. All right. Number 9, Buffalo Bills.
Okay, Buffalo Bills here. Actually, actually didn't.
I went
I lost my pick here. You go first.
okay, yeah, so I went with Ed Oliver, defensive tackle out of Houston.
Okay.
I think that, again, I was big on Josh Allen last year. I haven't given up on him, so he's the quarterback of the future.
Mhm.
Um, they really could go either. They could go defensive line, they could go offensive line, or they could even go receiver here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I like. I really do think wide receivers like their biggest need, one of their biggest needs. But I feel like reaching for a wide out here at number 9 is kind of a reach.
yeah.
So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go with an offensive lineman, and I think the best guy on the board is Cody Ford. He can play inside and out, and obviously they need to protect Josh Allen to continue his development. So I'm going to go with Cody Ford.
All right. Number 10, Denver Broncos.
Another QB off the board. I'm going to go with Dwayne Haskins out of Ohio State. I do think Joe Flacco will be the starter next year, but having Dwayne Haskins behind him to develop and learn will be, good for that franchise.
Yeah, we said this last year that this wasn't going to be the year for QBs. If you really needed a QB, last year was the year to get one.
Hmm.
Uh, Denver didn't. They went with Case Keenum. Uh, of course, now they have Joe Flacco, so I don't think they're going to pull the trigger on a quarterback right here.
We really could have a whole segment talking about how John Elway just like hasn't been smart with what he's doing in Denver, because you cannot tell me that Joe Flacco is better than Case Keenum right now. It's not true.
I mean, no, I don't think so either. I think if someone were to argue that he is, I think it's just barely. I think they're almost identical.
In that same range,
Yeah. Um,
mid 20s.
yeah. So look, I'm not going quarterback here. I think they're married to Flacco this year. Um, and so I'm going with cornerback DeAndre Baker out of Georgia.
Ooh, I like it. Bradley Roby is a free agent, so he could use a replacement instead of paying him.
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
Alrighty. Number 11, Cincinnati Bengals.
I have not changed this pick since I did my first mock draft like a month ago. I'm gonna stick with it. It's your guy Devin White out of Louisiana State. Really like that fit in that defense, and I think he'll be the leader there for a long time.
So I was at this. I got to this pick, and I got to a crossroads. I hadn't really thought about this until this week when I was doing my mock draft. Is it time for Cincinnati to invest in a quarterback?
I don't know. This is kind of another team that it seems like they're like dedicated to Andy Dalton for whatever reason. Andy Dalton actually played very well at the beginning of the season last year, and he just dropped off. I don't know if it was injuries or what, but um,
I'm
just
going
hit a
to.
point like halfway through the season, he just started playing terrible.
I'm going to assume with new coaches and everything that they're going to try to save Andy Dalton's career, so they're not going quarterback here. But I really thought putting Dwayne Haskins here. But I'm with you. I'm going.
Yeah,
I'm
staying in
going.
state.
I'm going Devin White as my pick, though. I honestly, I think Devin White is. I think he's top 5 player. Um,
Ooh.
I think he's really good, and
I think he's a top 10 talent. I have a hard time putting him in my top 5, but I agree. He's very good.
yeah. Well, I told you last week how he was my absolute favorite in the history of NCAA football. So I might be a little biased.
Wow.
Uh,
You see, you're telling me the Saints should trade up here to number 11, or
oh God, if they would, I would lose it. I would in a good way. In
can you
a
get a
good
Devin
way.
White jersey?
Oh, I would run to NFLshop.com to get one. Run. Anyways, not gonna happen though.
Oh man,
All right, with the 12th pick, Green Bay Packers.
this is a no-brainer. It depends what they do in free agency, but they definitely need to get a pass rusher. Clay Matthews is a free agent. I don't think he'll be back. Sounds like Nick Perry could also be gone. Best pass rusher on the board, Ja'Kai Polite, my guy out of Florida. Love
Yep.
that pick.
Yep, I'm with you. Ja'Kai Polite is my pick there as well.
No brainer.
Number 13, Miami Dolphins.
Dolphins are in kind of a crappy position right here. They need a quarterback desperately because I don't think Ryan Tannehill will be back, and I don't think they have any backups on the roster right now. Um, so I don't think they're going to reach for Drew Lock. That would be stupid if they did. So I think they should just go best player available, and I believe that's Clelin Ferrell out of Clemson.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm with you. I think they need a quarterback here, and this is where I'm putting Dwayne Haskins.
All the way down to 13, man. Wow.
Yeah.
That's like a sort of like a spicy hot take a little bit. Not as good as the ones you've had in the past, but
Well, all right. Number 14, Atlanta Falcons.
I'm going Ed Oliver here. They are going to bring Grady Jarrett back. It sounds like he could be franchised, but they need somebody to go along with him. I think is it Tyrone Crawford or Jack Crawford? I can't remember which one it is. One of the other defensive tackle that's there, he's a free agent. He won't be back next year, so they do need to replace him. Battles won in the trenches, and I think Ed Oliver's the best interior D lineman on the board. I would go with him from Houston.
Yeah, I already picked Ed Oliver earlier in my draft, but I agree defensive tackle's the pick here, so I'm going out of Clemson, Dexter Lawrence.
That's kind of a reach, I guess, in my opinion, but that guy is huge.
Yeah, I felt like it was kind of a reach too, but I felt like they really needed defensive tackle help.
It's kind of like a one-trick pony.
Yeah, and so I feel like he's what
do you know like what his measurables are?
No, what are they?
He's a mammoth, dude. He's I think he's like 6'5", 355 or something like that. Like he is a big boy. Takes up lots of space. So whoever gets him is definitely going to help their run defense tremendously.
Yeah. Well, and look at Atlanta. Look at the teams they have to play against. New Orleans with
all have terrific run
Ingram
games.
and Kamara. Carolina with McCaffrey and Cam Newton. And Tampa Bay. Well, Tampa Bay is just Tampa Bay, but
they had a good offense last year.
They did. So no, I mean they need somebody that can really help in the run because four games are going to be going against premier talent at the running back position. So, all right, number 15, the Washington Redskins.
I'm going to go wide receiver here. Best wideout, in my opinion, in this class, DK Metcalf out of Ole Miss. I think he's going to be a really good player for a long time.
Yeah, I feel like there's several ways they could go. If Kyler Murray or Dwayne Haskins were to slip all the way to 15, and I don't think they will.
Easily. Actually, I believe if they were to slip kind of down to the Dolphins range, I actually think the Redskins would trade up for him.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm saying. Don't be surprised if the Redskins make a move on one of those quarterbacks. Don't be surprised if they go receiver or safety here. Don't be surprised if they could probably even go linebacker here. But I am going to go with what I think is their biggest need outside of the quarterback position, defensive end. I'm going Montez Sweat out of Mississippi State.
Okay. Like that pick.
Number 16, the Carolina Panthers.
I really like oh my gosh, Taylor Moton, I'm sorry. He was a really good player last year. He's actually probably on the top half of tackles in the league. But they have nobody opposite from him. I guess Darrell Williams is coming back. But I would like to see them add some more depth. So I'm going to go with Jawan Taylor. I think he can play some right guard, too, if he needs to. They could move Try Turner to the left side. So I'm going to go Jawan Taylor out of Florida.
So here's where I'm at. Do I need to go wide receiver here, or do I need to go offensive line? Clearly, they're two biggest needs. Maybe even linebacker, since Thomas Davis is not going to be back. I decided to go wide receiver, Marquise Brown out of Oklahoma.
Speedster.
Yeah, I think that just somebody who, between him and McCaffrey, uh, Cam Newton's ability to move around in the pocket. Um, I mean, I think probably offensive line's a better pick, but I think they would like to have that speed on the outside. So,
Yeah, I'm good at that. I
uh,
think I
se-
actually like your pick better.
17, the Cleveland Browns.
This is actually kind of easy for me with the way my board has fallen. Two young options. I really liked Denzel Ward last year out of the draft, and I'm going to throw Byron Murphy across from him on the other side of the field. I think they'd have two solid young corners, and they'd be cheap for the next 3-4 years.
Hmm. Um, I didn't really know where to go with this, and I guess now that I'm thinking about it, what you just said makes some sense. I went offensive line, just to kind of give,
They do need a tackle.
yeah, and so I went with Oklahoma's Cody Ford. Maybe a little bit of a reach, um,
No, I think Cody Ford's a top 10 player.
but I just don't know if that's really the player now that I think about it that Cleveland needs. But that's who I went with, so I'm sticking with it.
All right, fair
Uh,
enough.
Number 18, your Minnesota Vikings.
Uh, Vikings fans maybe won't like this pick because it's not an offensive lineman. I do think they're going to address that in free agency to give them a little bit more movement at this spot. They could that'll give them the flexibility to trade or go best player available. I believe the best player available on the board at number 18 is a tight end. Kyle Rudolph. I think he's coming to ends meet here as a Viking. Just not digging the age, getting up there in the years. It seems like his production is starting to fall off a cliff a bit. T.J. Hawkinson, tight end out of Iowa, can do it all. He can catch. He can block. He gives you 100% effort. And I love his tape. This is one of my draft gushes.
All right, well, uh, Vikings fans, don't throw tomatoes at the All Pro Nation podcast because I did go offensive line.
Why would you do that?
I went Kansas State's Dalton Reisner.
Okay. That's like actually the most popular pick right now, so you cheated.
No, I think that he can
You,
help literally at any position on the line.
no, I agree, dude. I love Reisner.
I think
I
that
just I feel like he's a reach at 18. I
I
feel like he's going to be a good player, just like not Pro Bowl caliber.
look. Let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something. As a Saints fan, we took one player. I didn't take, but I feel like the fan base in general took one player for granted over the last couple years, and that was Cineo Calamente. And what Cineo Calamente did for the Saints
Who was
was,
garbage last year.
oh, he was garbage, yeah, but what he did for the Saints, though, he was a backup. And look, what he did as a backup, he completely deserved a chance
Yeah.
in Houston. Um, but he played just as many snaps as a starter at every freaking position on the offensive line in
No, he
2017.
was a really good player.
And having that, knowing that no matter who goes down, you have a competent person to fill in, I think is irreplaceable. So I love the pick of Reisner here. He can literally, the Vikings can bring anyone in at free agency, and he can pretty much plug and play anywhere they need him on the line. And I think that's what the Vikings need. So there we go. 19, Tennessee Titans.
Give Corey Davis some help. Let's give him a speedster, Marquise Brown out of Oklahoma.
Okay. Yeah, I went DK Metcalf.
Metcalf.
Out of
Yeah, he's the best
Mississippi.
wideout in the class. I'm shocked that you picked Brown over him. Metcalf is a beast, dude. He's gonna be so good for a
He
long
is.
time. I can't wait to watch him play.
No, take it. Ole Miss is LSU's biggest rival.
Yeah.
And so, Anyways, all right. So pick number 20, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers.
This is
God.
if you pick anything else here other than a DB, I feel like it's just wrong.
Okay.
They
Well,
need help. They need help bad. I think Joe Hayden is a possible cap casualty. He could be gone, and they just don't have anything after him, and he wasn't even that good last year. So best corner on the board, DeAndre Baker. I could either go here or I could go Deontay Thompson, the safety out of Alabama. I think Deontay Thompson is the better player over Baker, and I think he holds more value. So I'm going to go with him.
all right. Well, honestly, I thought wide receiver here, but with Metcalf and Brown already off the board, um, I didn't feel like there was a receiver worthy of this pick. Um,
N'Keal Harry.
yeah, maybe so,
Yeah.
but uh, I don't think that Bud Dupree is producing at the level that they expected him to.
Hmm.
I think with Ron Shazier's neck injury, there's an uh, there's a void at the linebacker position.
Hmm.
And then so I picked somebody that I think is a three down linebacker in Devin Bush out of Michigan.
I'm good with that.
So
I still think they should go DB, but I'm good with that pick.
all right, number 21, Seattle Seahawks.
Okay, Seattle Seahawks. I'm going corner here across from Shaquille Griffin. I'm going to go with DeAndre Baker out of Georgia.
DeAndre Baker. Okay, right on, right on. Um, I think that Seattle Seahawks need. I think they need offensive line help. Uh, so I'm going Greg Little.
I hate Greg Little, dude.
You hate everybody, so.
No, that's not true. I just if there's like one player in the first round I feel like is being overhyped right now, it's Greg Little. I just feel like he's I just from like what I've watched so far, I'm just not impressed at all.
All right. Well,
So,
impress me with your Baltimore Ravens pick at number 22.
oh yeah, I just talked about him. They're going wide receiver here because they're cleaning house. They got rid of Michael Crabtree earlier this week. They got no one left. I guess they got Willie Snead. Your guy Willie Snead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go N'Keal Harry, wide receiver out of Arizona State. I really, really, really like this pick. This is kind of similar to the Bengals and Devin White. I think this is just like a match or a marriage made in heaven.
Hmm.
I haven't changed this pick since I've been doing mocks, so I like this pick a lot.
Well, I think that there's clearly a need for a wide receiver. I think offensive line is a clear need, uh, and I think that the defensive end is a clear need.
Mm-hmm.
So with those three, I decided to go defensive end out of Florida State, Brian Burns.
Brian Burns, all right. He's growing on you.
He is. He is.
All
All right, with number 23, the Houston Texans.
right, this is where I'm gonna put Reisner. Uh, this is another team that if similar to the Steelers, if they go anything other than offensive line here, doesn't really seem right. I think so. I'm gonna go Dalton Reisner. I think he's the best offensive lineman available.
Okay. Uh, well, I guess I'm crazy then because I've disagreed with you on the Steelers and now on the Houston Texans. Because I'm going
The
defense.
Texans had the worst line in the league last year.
They
It
did, but
was
I don't.
not close.
They did, but I've already taken Reisner off. I don't. I don't have. I don't have an offensive lineman that I really love here left, um, and so I'm going. I'm going cornerback. I'm going with Byron Murphy out of Washington.
Okay. Yeah, I think both of their starting corners are actually free agents, so the
That is
move makes
correct.
sense. But I do think that they're going to bring one of those guys back.
All right, number
So,
24, Oakland Raiders' second pick. This one came from
the
Chicago.
yeah, Raiders fans will like this one. This will be the first running back off the board. Josh Jacobs out of Alabama. I believe all of the Raiders' current running backs that they had on the roster last year are free agents right now. It sounds like they're going to bring Marshawn Lynch back, but realistically, how many years is he going to play yet?
I mean, I think he's just there for to sell tickets, honestly.
Well, he's from Oakland,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
so
I think
he just doesn't want to go anywhere else.
I think he's just there to sell tickets. I don't think he's gonna be a significant player.
Right.
Yeah, I guess I could have gone. I could have gone running back here. I could have gone offense, considering who the coach is. But I went defense. I already went with a corner on their earlier pick, and I'm staying in the secondary. Also out of Alabama, I'm taking the safety, Deontay Thompson.
Yeah, I'm good with that. What's his face? Reggie Nelson. Reggie Nelson, he's like 35, 36 or something like that, so it's time to replace him.
Yep. So, passing league, man, and look at their division. They need to be able to keep up. All right, number 25, the freaking Philadelphia Eagles, and you can't give them a bag of shit even though you want to. They can't draft that.
Oh man, they're not going to listen to us anymore. I'm going DN here. I'm going Montez Sweat out of Mississippi State just because Brandon Graham's a free agent. Michael Bennett is a cap casualty, and I think Chris Long is also a cap casualty. So realistically, the only guy that looks like he could really be back next year is Derek Barnett. So they need some help. It looks like their starters and their depth is disappearing fast at that spot. So I'm going to go with Montez Sweat.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to be on the offensive side of the ball. Let's be real here. Jason Peters turns 37. He has battled injuries. Mm-hmm. Carson Wentz has gotten beat up. He hasn't been able to play in the postseason the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So I think it's time that they get ready to move on from Peters. So I'm picking offensive tackle. Your boy out of Florida, Jawan Taylor.
Yeah, that's my boy.
So
I think he's going to go much higher than that, but I like that pick a lot.
Yep. So all right, number 26, Indianapolis Colts.
So I wanted to go wide receiver here and give Andrew Luck another weapon. I do think that they're going to add somebody in free agency or via trade, Antonio Brown, knock on wood. But I'm going to go D-line here. Christian Wilkins, the D tackle out of Clemson. I like him a lot.
All right. I am going with Christian Wilkins, Clemson defensive line.
So you agree with me?
Yes. Okay. All right. Full disclosure, I just got a text message that I was reading and didn't hear your pick. So
yeah,
and I tried to play it off like I heard you, but then of course I failed because you called me out on it.
Because you didn't seem surprised. You're like, oh, I'm going Christian Wilkins.
Okay. Number 27, the Oakland Raiders. This pick comes from Dallas.
All right, so I'm going to go safety here. You took a safety last time. I'm going to take one this time. I'm going to go with Jonathan Abram, the strong safety out of Mississippi State. I like his mentality. He's an asshole. He likes to. I think I read somewhere he's been ejected like 3 or 4 times in his career for targeting. Yeah. So he likes to hit people, and I think that defense could use some of that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I went defense my first 2 picks. No way John Gruden is going to go defense 3 picks in a row in the first round. So I'm going to go offense here. Do not be surprised though if this is where the New Orleans Saints trade back up into the draft.
Hot takes.
Do not be surprised at this pick. I haven't taken a tight end off the board yet. This would be a place where I could see the Saints come in and swoop in and get a tight end. But for the sake of the mock, I'm keeping Oakland here. I'm going Arizona State wide receiver Neil Harry.
Yeah. That's my boy.
So, 28, the LA Chargers.
LA Chargers, I'm going tackle here. They need to get a right tackle to go across from Russell Okung. I'm going Andre Dillard, the tackle out of Washington State. I like his value a lot. I think he could play guard too.
Yeah. Well, I went. Apparently the Chargers have this obsession with defensive linemen.
Right.
So that's where I went with them as a defensive lineman. I'm going out of Old Dominion, defensive end, and I'm not going to pronounce this right.
O'Shane Zemines. I believe it's O'Shea Zemines.
O'Shane Zemines.
That's a reach, but okay. Okay, Chris.
I hate the Chargers. Who cares?
I love the Chargers.
Oh, no, I like the Chargers. Never mind. I hate the Rams. That's the LA team that I hate. You're right. I do like the Chargers.
Phillip Rivers is my boy.
I like Phillip Rivers. Wait, I picked that. Hold on, time out. That pick was supposed to be for the Rams. I was picked. Choo, I screwed this all up. I didn't even do a pick for the Chargers. I picked the Rams twice. For some reason, I just saw LA and picked Rams.
Oh, good grief.
Hold on, I'm changing my pick. Hold on, let me look at my draft board. Okay, I'm going. All right. Here's what I'm doing for the Chargers. For the Chargers, I'm going interior defensive lineman. I'm going Jerry Tillery out of Notre Dame.
Okay, that's a good fit. Especially they just cut what's his face. So Corey Luigit.
Yeah.
Luigit, however you say his name. Yeah, so that's a good replacement. Makes sense.
Yep. Okay.
All right, Chiefs. This is an easy one. It just depends how your board falls. They have no choice but to go anything other than the best defensive player on the board right here, and I believe that is Mr. Devin Bush out of Michigan.
Unfortunately, I've already taken
Mr. Bush.
Mr. Bush off the board. But I'm with you. I think it has to be defense. I don't even care where it is on the defense. So I went Washington strong safety Taylor Rapp.
Oh yes. I like that pick very much. Taylor Rapp is also one of my draft crushes. I love Taylor Rapp. I feel like nobody talks about him.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people have him slipping down to day 2. I think that the Kansas City Chiefs take him at 29.
Yeah. Kind of makes me wish the Vikings needed a safety, but they don't. So I'm just gonna have to suck it up. I'm just hoping the Packers don't pick him.
Green Bay Packers via the New Orleans trade last year for Davenport.
Safety is definitely a spot that they could address here at number 30. They could also do it with their first pick as well. I don't want to put Taylor Rapp here because I'm not nice, and I'm just going to go with Noah Fant, tight end out of Iowa. Jimmy Graham, that experiment obviously once again failed. I can't remember the last time the Packers had a successful tight end in Green Bay. So maybe Noah Fant will change that.
All right. Yeah, I'm going Noah Fant here as well. If and only if New Orleans doesn't trade up at number 27 to grab Noah Fant.
Mm-hmm.
Noah Fant's the tight end that I think if they're going to trade up, they're going to grab.
This is actually a good time to talk about him because we're making this pod before the combine starts. Mm-hmm. This guy is going to tear it up this weekend. Watch.
I agree.
And T.J. Hawkinson, I think, is the number 1 tight end in the draft, and I still think he is based off tape. But after this weekend, Font's probably going to move back into number 1 because he's probably going to run like a 4.5 40. So get ready for that, fans.
Well, there you go. You heard it here first.
Boom.
Number 31, the L.A. Rams.
The L.A. Rams. This is crap. What do we got left for edge players?
All right, I'm giving them. This is.
I don't know where to go here, man.
I'm giving them Old Dominion, O'Shawn Zamiz, that I was giving them at
Oh, Shades of Mines.
O'Shane's and mine. And I was giving them at 28 when I realized that was the Chargers and not the Rams.
All right.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Give me a second here. I'm actually having a. Oh, here we go. This is what I'm doing. I'm going with Mac Wilson, the Mac truck out of the middle linebacker out of Alabama.
Now, and you haven't used Rap yet either. You could put Rap here since they're going to have
Yeah.
a hole with Lamarcus Joyner being a free
Yeah.
agent.
I think you don't think he'll be back?
Mm. I mean, there's no way they're re-signing Sue, Joyner, um, and Roger Saffold. So
Saffold.
um,
Saffold, yeah. So
there's no
I
way they're keeping all three of those
so the
guys.
reason I didn't pick a safety here is because John Johnson was really good last year, and Lamarcus Joyner is obviously a really good player, but it all depends if he comes back or not. I just assumed that he would be, but I guess we'll see. We're going to do another draft after free agency. That'll give us a better idea. But right now, I'm just going to go linebacker because I don't think their linebacker. I actually think the linebacker corps is the reason that their defense wasn't very good last year. So they need to improve that area.
Yeah. All right, and then finally at number 32, the New England Patriots.
I want to hear yours first because I got a hot take.
All right. Well, I think that they've already said goodbye to Garoppolo. They've already said goodbye to Brissett.
Mm-hmm.
Time for another quarterback. Will he make it to Tom Brady's retirement? I don't know. But I'm going Daniel Jones out of Duke.
Yes, sir. So that would be my second pick. It seems this is another team in the first round that seems like a match made in having Daniel Jones in New England. But I'm actually going to go Jeffrey Simmons, the D tackle out of Mississippi State. He is a top 10 player in this draft, but obviously because of the off-field concerns and the recent ACL tear, he is going to drop a ways, and Bill Belichick, being Bill Belichick, is going to snap him up at the end of the first round and turn him into a Pro Bowler.
Interesting. All right. One notable name I will say that I left off. Um, I left out of my first round, and I feel really bad about it. Maybe uh, probably should have found a place to put him, but that was T.J. Hawkinson.
Yeah.
Somehow,
Well, I'm freaking
somehow,
disappointed in you.
somehow, he fell out of my first round. There's just not a whole lot of teams I think that really are struggling at tight end position, and the ones that are, notably
Game
New
changer.
Orleans, isn't in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, Hawkinson's going to be a game changer.
yeah, so uh, I could see maybe the Rams if they don't want to go defense, if they don't want to go for that edge player, I could see them going tight end.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
so kind of watch out for that. So all right, well that's our mock draft, and so I think those were pretty good. I don't we agreed on a lot. We disagreed on a lot. So
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much it. All right, so let's any crazy NFL news that you want to talk about?
The combine's always fun because this is the time of the year where all 32 teams get to meet together for the first time in the off season after the season. So there are rumors flying around everywhere about players potentially being traded, players being signed, who's going to be let go, stuff like that. But I think the biggest headline in the league right now doesn't even really concern any players. It's Robert Kraft, the Patriots owner.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
Yeah.
Did you see what Schefter said on ESPN after it was reported?
Yeah, he said that he's not even the biggest name player.
Yeah. I'm waiting for another name to pop up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the Robert Kraft situation that came out of left field. Because I mean, honestly, look at his girlfriend that he's got. She's smoking hot. So I do have something special for the All Pro Nation fans. Are you ready for this?
What you got?
I hadn't even told you about this. Ladies and gentlemen, making his return to the All Pro Nation podcast, the Godfather, Nicholas Davan.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Nick?
What's going on, guys?
The
Robert
Godfather,
Kraft
the creator.
Something, huh?
Yeah. Are you the other big name?
The other big name.
You the other big name that Adam Schefter was talking about, involved in this the soliciting of prostitution?
I doubt it. Very seriously. My wife would not approve of that.
Nick.
And she's hotter than Robert Kraft's girlfriend.
All right, so guys, for those of you who haven't been listening since week 1 that we started this podcast 2 years ago, Nick Davan is the creator of All Pro Nation. He is the man behind everything that kind of goes on. He builds out the websites. He kind of makes sure he keeps me and Tanner in line. He's constantly supporting us, and he also was the original co-host of this podcast before we even knew who Tanner was. He doesn't make a whole lot of appearances on the podcast nowadays, but every now and then he likes to pop on. So this is his first time being on the podcast since we recently relaunched the All Pro Nation podcast. So Nick, it's good to have you.
Yeah, I've been doing a good job, man. I'm sorry. See, that's why I don't come on the podcast, because I step over Chris.
So let me ask you, Nick, a couple questions, a couple things that me and Tanner have debated on. Could you see this being Eli Manning's last year as quarterback, or do you think he'll even play quarterback in 2019?
Ooh, he has not been doing well recently, but he's still a competitor nonetheless.
Of course.
I think Eli, if he feels like he'll jeopardize a starting position where he's going to ride the bench, I don't think he plays. As long as he's still caliber of a starter in the league, I think he's in.
Okay.
So I think he'll evaluate any kind of circumstance to that level.
Yeah, I think that the Giants are going to try to bring somebody over to replace him. Teddy Bridgewater would be a name to look out for, but Tanner seems to believe that they've married to him and they're not letting him go.
Who's that?
Eli
Manning.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's like you want us 2 Super Bowls. We'll kiss your feet. We'll do whatever you want. So just a love relationship.
His pass has been there, but production has been off. But I mean, what's around him? You know, I mean, granted, he is throwing to Odell Beckham Jr. And the question is Odell's lack of
Odell even going to be there next year?
Right. Yeah.
Good point.
So I mean, you have the running back in Barkley.
Yeah.
I think I'm with Tanner a little bit on this one. I think they're going to hang on to Eli one more year for sure. He's our starter. And then if he rides the pine later in the season because of that, I think that's going to be the last of Eli Manning in the NFL.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me ask you this, Nick. Do you have any hot takes that you think we might need to watch out for in the upcoming draft? Because we've kind of been talking about draft in this episode.
Hot takes as far as
let's see, do you anything that you think that might happen that the casual fan might think is a little crazy to happen in the first round of the draft?
I think you mentioned something last week about on the podcast, if I'm not mistaken, about the New Orleans Saints trading up for the first round to get into the first round.
Oh, someone else is on that trade up train Tanner?
Well, I think that's what Bridgewater's there for, right? We didn't see a lot of play time from Bridgewater even when Drew Brees was pulled out of the game. They're married to the Taysom Hill extravaganza. So I don't know if Taysom Hill is the future of the New Orleans Saints, but we know Brees isn't going to be around forever.
Yeah. So you think they're going to use? You think they might use Teddy as trade bait to get up into the first?
Trade bait, absolutely.
So
they only gave up a third. They only gave up a third to get him. So if they could turn it into a first, that would be big.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And no, you're not going to get rid of him for a first-round pick.
Who's that? Bridgewater?
Teddy. Yeah, you'll have to throw something else in there.
And maybe they might. I mean, they need help at tight end. They need help at receiving. I know you got Michael Thomas, but if they're going to build a team beyond the career of Drew Brees, you're going to need some hands on the field. Whoever's going to take the control of that team. And so I think Teddy is a starter quality in the league. His health has been an issue for him. Staying healthy. But as of right now, they've used him very little. And just enough to say, hey, man, we got Bridgewater and you don't have a quarterback, Jacksonville. Whoever.
Interesting. Yeah, I agree. I would like to see Teddy stay in New Orleans, but that's just me as being a fan of the team personally.
Sure, so. I think Bridgewater would be a great. If Bridgewater wants to make a career out of something, and he's not looking for the immediate dollar, the Saints don't have any cap room or very little.
Yeah.
You know. So if he's willing to sit and be patient, let Brees retire, then he'll have a great team that he can actually make some runs to the playoffs with. I feel like they, Saints for the most part, have always in contention to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, and if I'm a quarterback, I wouldn't mind having Michael Thomas and a couple other good receivers. Alvin Kamara. I mean, look, let's face it, Alvin Kamara, you can almost argue is the best running back in the league right now, or one of the top three.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Well, let me.
They don't.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you this next. So, if you believe the Saints are going to trade Teddy Bridgewater in the draft to get more draft capital, well, come on, man. We know Taysom Hill's not the future. Do you see any big time free agent quarterbacks that could possibly make their way to New Orleans?
Man, that's a hard one. I know if I'm the Saints and I'm looking at free agency, maybe not this year, but to build in the future because you got Brees this year, but some quarterbacks that'll be in free agency next year. I'm looking to Seattle. I'm looking to take Russell Wilson.
That's a hot take.
My God, you'll have to trade your line away.
No, and look.
Well, I'm saying this on Brees' retirement, right? Because you got a year with Brees.
And Nick kind of beat me to it.
Brees retired, his salary's gone.
Nick beat me to it because I was saving this for like our summer programs when we have nothing to talk about. We need viewerships for a good hot take, but
hold up, you got breaking news, breaking NFL news.
What's that?
Saints traded Bridgewater?
No, Cowboys fans. Jason Witten is ending his retirement and returning to the team.
Stop.
What?
He is coming back.
Well, he was terrible in the booth.
That's tied in.
Here's the quote: "The fire inside of me to compete and play this game is just burning too strong. This team has a great group of rising young stars, and I want to help them make a run at a championship. This was completely my decision, and I am very comfortable with it. I'm looking forward to getting back in the dirt."
Look at that. The All Pro Nation is breaking news live.
Breaking. That's right now. This is 100% like in the moment.
Unfortunately,
what happens when we post?
Unfortunately, our listeners aren't listening live, so by the time they get to this part in the podcast, it'll be old news. But
yeah, well, it's cool. It's really shocking for me actually, but. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is shocking, though.
I suppose tight end is no longer a need for the Cowboys this last season.
No, it's still a need. He's old.
Yeah, not a priority though.
And he didn't play last year.
Well, guys, man, I appreciate y'all having me on the podcast, but I gotta make a run for it.
All right, Nick. Hey, bud, appreciate
take to the
you
bank.
being on.
Russell Wilson will be a New Orleans Saints 2020.
Hey, man, I'm
My
all
goodness.
here for it. I'm all here for it. Nick, thanks,
You
buddy. Thanks for
spiciest.
being on.
See you, Godfather.
All right, buddy. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, no, Nick kind of stole my thunder because I was totally going to go Russell Wilson. Could possibly not be with the Seahawks in 2020.
Really?
I think that could be possible.
I think you guys are high on crack.
Hey, man.
That is ridiculous.
Hey, crazier things have happened in the NFL. All right, look, we're going to end it there. Look, we're about to hit the hour mark. But guys, as always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. If you want to join in on the fun and the craziness that is the All Pro Nation podcast, reach out to us on the Twitters. You can catch us at Twitter at All Pro Nation and Facebook at All Pro Nation. Or you can send us a message online on our website at allpronation.com. Tell us, hey, man, I want to be on the podcast, or I want to write articles for the website. This is where, our motto is All Pro Nation, where fans have a voice. So let your voice be heard and join the amazing team that we have here at allpronation.com. I'm Chris. He's Tanner. Till next week.
Bye,